Welcome to the TExES 391 Core Subjects EC6 online test prep course, covering subject exam number 1, English Language Arts and Reading. This is test number 901, and the course is presented by Teacher Preps, your trusted source to help you pass your teacher certification exam. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get started. Competency 4 is all about reading comprehension. There are a total of 12 descriptive statements within this competency, so there's a lot to dig into with this lesson. Competency 4 reads as reading comprehension and applications. The teacher understands the importance of reading for understanding, knows the components and processes of reading comprehension, and teaches strategies for improving their comprehension, including using a variety of texts and contexts. Notice here the highlighted keywords. Understands the importance of reading for understanding. Knows the components and processes of reading comprehension. And teaches students strategies for improving their comprehension. The first lesson that we'll cover will teach you everything you need to know about the first standard, which states the beginning teacher understands factors affecting reading comprehension. For example, word analysis skills, prior knowledge, language background experience, previous reading experiences, vocabulary, fluency, ability to monitor understanding, characteristics of specific texts, all for students in grades 4 through 6. Let's start first with what's comprehension. Try and create a sentence on your own, in your own words. What does comprehension mean? And if you want to be specific, we're talking about reading comprehension. All right, did you come up with a solution? Remember that comprehension is when you understand or when you comprehend. In our case, reading comprehension is when you understand that which you read. All right, we're off to a good start. Let's keep going. First part about comprehension that we need to know for our exam, it's all about factors affecting reading comprehension. So grab your notebook and let's start by writing factors affecting reading comprehension right at the top of your paper. Remember the Texas Education Agency listed factors, so we need to know all of these. Write these down as well. Normally, I like to make diagrams, charts, graphs, but there are so many, we're going to make a list here. And yes, take a deep breath because this is going to take a while, but this test is important. So let's make sure you're 100% prepared to pass. All right, the first factor that affects reading comprehension is a student's word analysis skill level. First, do you remember what word analysis is? Pause the video and try to write down your own definition. Right. Recall that having the skill in word analysis is having the ability to identify and understand the structure of individual words. This includes recognizing a word's prefix, suffix, and root word. Can you think of an example word that has all three, a prefix, a suffix, and a root? I'll wait. As a matter of fact, let's use a timer to see how many words you can write down that have all three. Let's put up for 10 seconds. All right, how many did you come up with? Now, here's one example. Unhappiness. Can you identify the prefix, suffix, and root? Now, a bit of a sad word, sorry about that, but hey, it's a good example for our case here. So, first of all, un is the prefix. It means not. Happy is the root word, of course. We change the Y to an I. Nevertheless, meaning stays the same. And then we have the suffix ness. Apologies for crossing the arrows right there. Perhaps we can pause here and you can say in your own words how having the ability to use word analysis skills would help you build or strengthen a student's reading comprehension. One way I like to put it is that having strong word analysis skills is the foundation for decoding and understanding unfamiliar words. Another way is mastery in recognizing prefixes, suffixes, and root words, as well as applying phonics rules, allows students to break apart and interpret complex texts in greater ease. All right, so on to number 2, prior knowledge. Let's start with a little background information. Students draw from their pre-existing knowledge when reading a text, allowing them to make connections, predictions, and inferences. Let's learn and realize this through an example. There are 2 students in a classroom, Bob and Billy. Today's science lesson is all about the water cycle. Billy happened to pick up and read a book at the library that had a chapter about the water cycle in it. Bob has never heard these 2 words put together before. See how prior knowledge will affect the comprehension of our students? When students can relate textual information to what they already know, they are better equipped to make connections, to predict outcomes, and to understand the context of what they're reading. Topic number 3 is language background and experience. For your exam, remember that the cultural, linguistic, and social background of a student can influence their comprehension. Furthermore, students whose English is a second language might face challenges due to linguistic challenges. For example, Maylee just arrived from Singapore. She's completely fluent in English, but this is her first time in the United States. It's Thanksgiving week, and she's never heard of this American holiday called Thanksgiving. In order to boost Maylee's ability to comprehend the Thanksgiving Day story that the class will read later today, her teacher should provide her with some important background information about the holiday before starting the story. So, how might we wrap up the notion that a student's linguistic and personal background and experience might positively or negatively affect a student's reading comprehension? Well, it can be said that students with limited exposure to the predominant language of instruction or unfamiliar cultural contexts might face challenges in decoding words, understanding idioms, or grasping culture nuances, thereby affecting their overall comprehension. Let's now move on to topic number 4 of factors that affect reading comprehension, which is previous reading experiences. Let's start with some background information. Previous exposure to diverse reading materials can widen vocabulary, boost comprehension, and enhance understanding of text structures. This factor is very similar to the example given before, how Billy already read about the water cycle, so her previous reading experience will positively affect her comprehension when she reads a new book about the water cycle in class. Note also that positive past encounters with reading can boost a student's confidence, motivation, and ability to make connections between texts, foster deeper comprehension that way too. And this is why we as teachers want to do our best to introduce books and information with excitement. On the flip side, it's important to note that students without prior reading experience about a particular topic might react to a new topic by being shy or scared, timid, nervous, or even angry. So, as teachers, it's important that we really use our smart strategies to ease the students into new topics through questions, eliciting their curiosities, wonders, and trying to find students ways to connect to that which they're going to be learning in the classroom with their personal lives. All right, next up, number 5 on the list is fluency, which we will be discussing next, and this will definitely affect a student's reading comprehension. All right, let's recall that fluency encompasses these 3 components. Do you remember them? Accuracy, rate, and prosody, otherwise known as expression. So, why is fluency so important to comprehension? Well, it's because fluency is tied to reading comprehension. When students read fluently, they can focus more on the understanding of the content rather than decoding individual words, allowing for smoother transitions from sentence to sentence and better retention of the information that they're reading. Conversely, a lack of fluency can disrupt the flow of reading, leading to students to lose track of where they're reading, the main idea, the context, and it can overall just affect negatively their comprehension of the text. Number 6 on the list is vocabulary, which also has a major impact on a student's ability to comprehend that which they're reading. A robust vocabulary is fundamental for comprehension. It's not just about knowing words, but about understanding their context and meaning. For your exam, you'll want to know that vocabulary development influences reading comprehension for students in grades 4 through 6 because as students expand their vocabulary, they can more easily decode and understand texts, leading to better comprehension. Here we go. The 7th factor in affecting reading comprehension is the ability of the reader or student to monitor their own understanding. Teachers need to know how to teach students to recognize when they do not understand a portion of the text and employ strategies to clarify their own comprehension. The ability to monitor understanding is a key self-regulation skill for students in grades 4 through 6. When students actively check their comprehension while reading, they can identify areas of confusion and seek clarification, thus enhancing their overall grasp of the text that they're reading. Not a great test taker? Click the link in the description below to get prepared faster, smarter, better, with everything you need to pass all in one place, so you get the test results you want and become a certified teacher with teacherpreps.com.